What is going on, guys? Nick here, back with another video. Now, this isn't something that I've really talked about a lot on this channel, specifically my thoughts about crypto. And I don't necessarily want this to be a situation where I'm kicking crypto while it's down and kind of saying the easy thing. But my opinion when it comes to the stock market at this point, we've seen this crazy sell-off over the past, 6 months basically throughout the entire course of this year. And my opinion has been to continue to just buy the dip. I don't necessarily know when we're going to come out of this fall. Maybe we enter a recession, maybe we enter a very severe recession and stocks sell off significantly more from here. Personally, I've continued to buy the dip with stocks and I don't really feel bad about that because I've looked at the valuations for the companies that I'm buying and I think they're just getting even better as I continue to buy them. So if the stocks sell off even more, I'm going to try to figure out ways to get more money that I can invest into stocks. However, I don't necessarily think the same thing with crypto. Now, the difference between crypto and stocks is crypto is technically a currency, at least that's what people try to call it, but currency doesn't have a measurable value on its own. Obviously, currency has some value, right? If I threw a $100 bill out the window, nobody would look at that and think, nah, there's no value in that thing. Of course there's value in currency, but it doesn't have a measurable value, and that's the issue for me. See, stocks are valued based off of the profits that they produce, right? You're buying part of a business, and if you were to buy part of a business and that business were to produce more profit, obviously that stock would increase in value. There's also things like gold and rare art that, while they don't produce profits, they do have value and they've had long staying power in their value. We've seen gold around for thousands of years, we've seen art around for thousands of years, and they've all held their value. But that's not really the case for currencies, and especially not crypto. A currency's value is dictated on what others are willing to trade for it. And unless it's something hilarious like that $100 trillion Zimbabwe dollar that's floating around out there, I don't really think that crypto on its own is something that you can trade. It's kind of a novelty item. And I think the other thing that really concerns me about this crypto sell-off is think about what's going on right now and why we were told crypto is such a great investment. Crypto was supposed to be this fantastic hedge against inflation. There can only be 21 million coins. There's no central bank coming in and manipulating and putting millions of more Bitcoin out on the market where, you see this hyperinflation. When we see the dollar fighting its worst inflation crisis in the past 40 years, crypto is nowhere to be found. In fact, not only is it nowhere to be found, the price of Bitcoin is falling off a cliff. It's dropped something like 75% of its value over the past year. Now, I'm not calling this the end of crypto or the end of Bitcoin, and that you're totally doomed if you still own any at this point. Historically, it has traded in about 3 to 4 year peak to trough cycles. And hey, maybe in 3 to 4 years from now, we're going to be able to trade one Bitcoin in for $100,000. Maybe, I don't know. Looking at the chart, if it were to have a rebound, that doesn't seem impossible. But the issue is, unless Bitcoin becomes an actual currency and not some kind of financial trading instrument as it's behaved over the past decade, at some point, this is all going to come to an end. Right now, I think that Bitcoin looks like a pretty solid case of the greater fool theory. You don't actually have to worry about what Bitcoin is worth when you purchase it, as long as you can find somebody else who's willing to pay more for it. But at some point, that can run out. And that's especially true if Bitcoin doesn't prove itself to have some kind of actual real value for people. I know there's been countries who have transitioned their unstable currency into Bitcoin, but that has more to do with the fact that they had a lot of economic instability themselves. And I don't think that that's necessarily working out for them very well right now. If you really see Bitcoin and crypto as an actual currency, well, I think Dave Portnoy puts it best when he says, the value of one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. If you can trade less of your own assets to get even more Bitcoin and crypto, then you should be backing up the truck right now. But the problem is that people have treated it like a trading commodity while calling it a currency. And I think deep down that we all know that while there's definitely been a few stories about people making novelty purchases in Bitcoin, at the end of the day, even with all of the inflation that we've seen, dollars are the real currency, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Now, sorry to go on a rant there a little bit, but this is something that I've thought about for a long time. Really, I've thought about it for years, and I've just never really made a video about it. I thought that I just kind of had to get it out there. But that's the video, and as always, thanks for watching.